Welcome to this special edition of High School Rewind, available only on Xfinity On Demand. We are at Northridge High School for the Top of Utah Classic on this final day of this tournament. Our game today is the Bonneville Lakers and the Weber Warriors. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Dane Stewart here to bring you the action. We will start with the Bonneville Lakers. This is a team that they won their first game of the season, but the Top of Utah Classic has not been kind to the Lakers. They've lost their first two games in this tournament and squaring off against the Warriors here today. But this is a Bonneville team that has some talent on it. They've got a couple kids who have played pretty good so far here in this 2013-14 basketball season. Leading the way for him, Tyler Heaton. He averages 18 points a game, and he's actually tough defensively. Almost 5 steals per game for the Bonneville Laker coming into this one. He is certainly, well, he's had a good year on both ends of the floor so far for Bonneville. Another name to watch for the Lakers here today going to be Jake Packard, averaging nearly a double-double, 9 points a game, 10 boards a game coming into this one. He's going to be a force down low for the Lakers as they try to end this tournament on a winning note. We'll switch and talk a little bit now about the Weber Warriors. This is a team that, of course, they won Region 1 last season. They had such a good year, but they lost so many key players off of last year's team. And it's a young Warrior team trying to build for next year and contend for this year. They come in, however, 0-2 on the season. Actually 0-3. They have not won a game, winless so far here in this tournament, but trying to get some of this youth, some experience, provide some leadership for the rest of this season and for next year. Leading the way for them, watch for Carson Bischoff. He is leading them in scoring up to this point. He's been pretty good in their 3 losses so far this year. And then a couple other names to watch for the Warriors include Adam Open and Cole Dean. Those familiar with the Warrior football team will recognize that name. The quarterback also playing on the hardwood for the basketball team. This is a team that, as we mentioned, they have not won a game. They're coming off a tough 65-55 loss against the Box Elder Bees earlier in this tournament. They are trying to get on the winning track as they will turn around and face Box Elder in their next game. So this is a game to kind of fine-tune some things to prep them for what's coming up. But as we said, both these teams have not won a game yet here in this tournament, trying to change that on this final day. And with that being said, let's see which one of them can come out on top. So we'll head down now to the court to get the game underway. And we are underway here from Northridge High School as it's Jace Packard who's able to win the tip for the Lakers in the designated home team. So in their whites and starting things off right for Bonneville. That's Justin Porter with the three-pointer just 10 seconds into the game, and Bonneville up early 3-0. This is a drive by Cooper Cosby. That one knocked out off of Weber, and back with Bonneville it goes. Not the biggest lineup for the Lakers is bringing the ball up the floor is Tanner Buckway, and then that pass goes through the key, kicked out, another three-pointer on the way. This time it's Jared Ford, another triple, and it's 6-0 Bonneville. 2 3-pointers on 2 possessions. Not a bad start at all. That's Bischoff who looks inside, and that's going to be a favorable match all night long as Tyler Christiansen in the key, able to lay it up and in. Then the turnover. Weber now pushing it back the other way. Here's Open. Uses the glass. That one just came out on him. He's going to think about that one. That's a shot he does not miss all that often. Now back with the Lakers as this is Buckway. Top of the key. Thinking about it from the free throw line was Packard. This pass was saved by Jared Ford. Nearly went out of play as guarding him defensively is Houston Wade. Now on the drive, and what a nice drive it was. As laying it in was Jace Packard, able to use some speed to get around the much taller Christiansen and lay it in. Now a three-pointer on the way from Weber. That is no good, as it was Bischoff trying to get on the scoreboard tonight. Couldn't do it. Crossed over by Heaton. Now he's going to back it out, and another shot by Packard. This one is missed. Loose ball, and we're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to the Warriors. Open will bring the ball up the floor. Talked about the youth on this Weber team. Open, one of the talented juniors for the Warriors this year. Inside the key, it's Christiansen again, and he's able to elevate over Packard. bringing the score 8-4 Bonneville lead. Of course, they hit those early 3-pointers. Weber trying to chip away. Now on the baseline, Buckway. This one rims out. Rebounded strongly by Cosby. As he comes down the other way for the red and black. We get that pass off despite some contact. Cosby again, and a travel called, that time on Open. Tyler Heaton, we talked about him in the Open, brings the ball up the floor. Packer trying to drive, nice little spin move. Good defense that time by Christiansen, not fouling Packers. He tried to make a move in the key. Now here's Open, popping this outside. Now a baseline drive by Bischoff, and he's able to use the glass. And Carson Bischoff is on the board. 8-6 now, the Bonneville lead, and that one nearly stolen by Open. It's like he's been watching some Heaton footage. Has talked about Heaton, nearly 5 steals a game, still able to keep the possession for the Lakers, as now Buckway has it top of the key. This one driven by Porter. A baseline jumper, back of the rim, and rebounded by Bischoff. Bischoff gonna hand this off to Wade, now top of the key, and the drive by Cosby, coming over, and a big block put on by Jace Packard. Checking in for Bonneville, Ethan Atagi. A three-pointer, corner three for Bischoff, and the Warriors have their first lead of the game. It's a 9-2 run for Weber. They lead 9-8. Atagi in the post, pops it outside, Ford with the drive. Another three-pointer coming for Bonneville. This one no good. Christiansen able to tip it to Wade as Wade brings it up the floor across the timeline. Now Open with the drive. Able to find Cosby underneath. Now Weber will set things up. Midway through our first quarter here. A three-pointer from Wade, no good. Rebounded by Atagi. Here comes Heaton. Boy, he had a man in the key. Nice job by Open that time, able to disrupt the pass as Christiansen gets the rebound, and Weber back up with it quickly. And good hands that time by Justin Porter, able to deflect the pass out of play. Inbounded three-pointer on the way, that one no good. Rebounded by Packard. Packard looking to drive, pops it outside. Back up top, and this is a three-pointer from Heaton, no good. Rebounded by Bischoff. Down the other way and wide open. Three-pointer coming from Hayden Denny. That one rims out. And after a nice scoring start for both these two teams, now the rim's becoming a little unfriendly. Bischoff with a drive, and he just ran into Atagi, who was able to save it. A nice hustle that time by the junior, Ethan Atagi. Apologize, I've been all over with that name. Bonneville now looking to retake the lead. Good defense that time. Here's Atagi with it. Gonna try to work on Christiansen. Boy, nice move to get him in the air. Christiansen recovered beautifully, able to block it. Loose ball that Bonneville able to recover. So the offensive opportunity not wasted for the Lakers. Three-pointer coming from Buckway. No good. Rebound is to Christiansen. Coming back the other way, Open. Bischoff for three. That one just comes off. Jace Packard with it now. He's got 5 points. Atagi now from the free throw line. That one no good. As Weber looks to slow things up a little bit. It's been up and down action early on here in the first quarter. Good defense that time by Heaton. Screened off by Christiansen underneath Bischoff. We'll pop it outside, and Open now guarded by Heaton. Gives it to Christiansen. Taji giving him some room. Now Weber will reset. Minute and a half remaining here in this opening quarter. Still 9-8 Weber out in front. Bischoff with the drive and a foul. A reach on Buckway. Mass substitution. Making their first appearances, Desmond Chacon for the Lakers, as well as Cole Dean for the Warriors. This is Dean with it in the key. He goes up strong and able to get on the scoreboard. 11-8 now, the Weber score. That pass was a little high, turned over. He's bringing it back up the floor. Weber quickly. And a travel that time as the momentum of Denny carried him too far. This is Jared Ford getting it over to Chacon, trying to work around the defense of Dean. Nothing there. Chacon again. Boy, nice move that time. Put on by Jace Packard, coming off the screen. Had a nice lane, able to lay it in, and it's a big bucket for Bonneville after getting off to such a great start. Points have become a rarity in these last couple minutes for the Lakers. Over to Adam Open. He's going to drive. Hangs. This one rolls off and out of bounds off of Bonneville. Will stay underneath with Weber. Weber on the inbound and not a lot of space for Cosby as he dishes this out. Cosby now looking to drive. Boy, nice take that time by the senior. Cooper Cosby, one of only 3 seniors on the team. And they're going to have to throw this up. They do not get it off. Quarter expires, 13-10. Weber after 1. Second quarter underway, and really strong finish for the Warriors as they finished the first quarter on an 11-2 run. Bringing it down the other way now, Nick Austin. Let it, this is Cosby with it. He will back it out. Boy, nice move that time to create a driving lane, though nothing there. Cosby now going to fire from 17. That rebounded by Porter. Here comes Heaton, and he's had a relatively quiet first quarter thus far, but Packard has not, as he nets 2 more, and Jace Packard has a strong game here early on. This last game of the Top of Utah Classic. Cosby passes it to Denny. Top of the key, looking inside for Dean. Dean goes up strong, but had bracket coverage for those of you who are football fans. Couldn't get away from it. That time the drive given off to Porter as Heaton was forced baseline. Porter couldn't make the shot, and Weber comes back down with it quickly. Lots of space. This one put up back of the iron. No good. Tapped out, and it is basically given to Jared Ford, who comes running down with it. Porter now thought about it. Instead goes to Heaton. Being guarded tightly by Nick Austin. That shot is no good. Dean ends up with it eventually. Weber coming the other way. Going up. The shot is missed. Fouled on the play. And we will have free throws coming up. 15-12 the score. And my apologies to number 24. I don't have a 24 on the roster, but he made both his free throws to extend the lead. That drive came off the back of the rim by Jace Packard, and now back down with it quickly again is Open, though he will back it out. Christiansen with beautiful positioning inside. Uses the glass, and 2 more for Tyler Christiansen. Heaton back up top. Packard with it now. Talked about the youth of this Weber team. It is not a young full Bonneville team. Lots of seniors on the rosters. That 3-pointer by Ford is no good. Inside Christiansen. Boy, he had Packard wrapped all around him. Couldn't get the shot to drop. He's now driving the other way is Buckway. He threw this one up and missed it. Coming the other way. Lots of room all alone and missing it, but then getting the tip was Houston Wade, as it was Cooper Cosby who had the strong drive, missed it. Wade there to clean things up, and a timeout will be taken by the Lakers. 19-12 the lead, advantage to the Warriors. Here in the second quarter, Bonneville had 6 points just a minute in and only 6 in the last 11 or so. That time a carry by Open. He knew it immediately and frustrated with himself. Buckway looking to drive and defense by Bischoff, nothing there. A nice little step back move that time put on by Chacon, but missed it. Rebounded by the Warriors. Back the other way, here's Wade. Now on the baseline with it is Austin. He's looking to drive. And then Wade just turned it over and then fouled Ford before Ford could get the uncontested lay-in. First foul on Houston Wade. Saved 2 points if nothing else. Ford with it. Passes out to Chacon. Back to Ford. Boy, Weber playing up in your face defense. Popped outside and Chacon had that one go right through his hands. Open's pass was too far for his teammate Austin, turned over. Just under 4 minutes left here in the opening half. Still 19-12. Weber out in front. This is Porter with it. That pass was deflected, though, able to get over this Weber defense, and then Porter couldn't handle the pass deep in Weber territory. Austin looking for the lob inside, overthrown. He's looking for Christiansen. Buckway, what a beautiful threaded pass to Jace Packard. And Packard, we talked about him in the open. He has had a whale of a game. As Christiansen gonna have to stop for some blood time here. All right, so Christiansen getting taken care of. Weber with the ball. That pass able to be corralled in. Nice job by Bischoff. Is a little beyond him, looking inside, and a foul call on the entry pass to Cole Dean. This is going to be called on Heaton. And an illegal screen that time called on the Warriors. Nick Austin turned over by Weber. First foul. And excuse me, it was actually called on Bischoff. I misread the official. It's his first foul. Bonneville with it again. Heaton near side with Packard. Boy, look at Dean just all over Packard. Passes this outside. Nice little backdoor pass that could not be converted as Justin Porter left it just a little shy, and Weber back down quickly with it. Dean thought about it. Instead will push it back out. Bischoff with it now. Dribbling out of the corner. Picked up his dribble before passing it over to Denny. Denny with a nice crossover, then tried to put it up and knocked out as it looked like Packard got a hand in there to delay it, and they say it's off of Packard. Houston Wade comes back in for the Warriors. It's open, looks to inbound, gets it back in. And that pass off the mark. It's going to roll all the way down, turned over back to the Lakers. Buckway looking to inbound, gets it into Packard, has to hang as it was defensed very nicely by Bischoff. Made the shot very difficult and missed. Now Bischoff going to try to answer with a three. That one back of the iron. Rebounded by Weber, though. His possession stays here. Nice drive by Open. He passes this out to Cosby. That one rolls around. Cannot be saved. Going back to the Lakers. 19-14. Still our score here. Under 2 minutes left in the opening half. Bonneville trying to cut into this deficit. Packard with it. That pass thrown between a couple Warriors finds Heaton. We mentioned their leading scorer at 18 a game, and he has not had a good game thus far as he misses that one and not near anywhere on pace for his average. Nice drive that time, but sent long by Number 24, again, apologize, don't have his name, is back quickly with Heaton. Boy, the key left wide open, and Heaton sent that one long. He can't believe it, missed the last one short, and that one had too much on it. A couple missed lay-ins by Heaton, not something you'll see often, is slow getting back as Bischoff lays it in. 21-14. It's a football score on a basketball floor. Under a minute left here in the first half. Buckway with it. Heaton across to Jared Ford. Looking for somewhere to go. This Weber defense making it very tough on this Laker offense. Had some open threes early on, and since then just not much as Heaton looks for somewhere to go. Three-pointer on the way from Porter. Justin Porter hits the three. That's a shot that was good for them early on, but not lately. And Heaton almost with the steal. You see his quickness there, but he couldn't keep it in. Lots of substitutions here with only 18 seconds left in the half as this is open with it, brings it across the timeline. We are now down to 10 seconds. It's a 21-17 game, advantage to the Warriors. Is open, just drives around this defense and lays it in easily. 2 seconds left here. Shot and a foul with a second left. They will put it back on the clock, and Bonneville will take it out. 0.5 seconds put back on the clock. Not a bad foul at all. Getting this one off is Porter, and it hits the top of the backboard. The half is over. To the locker rooms we go. Weber holds a 23-17 lead over Bonneville. Start of the second half, Weber starts with possession and the lead, 23-17. The Bonneville Lakers looking inside to Christiansen. They got him taken care of. That one is out off of the boys in white. On the inbound play, up top and a three-pointer from Cooper Cosby. No good, rebounded by Christiansen. He tries to go back up with it. That ball batted around before finally being brought in by Jared Ford. It was Jace Packard who was able to get a hand and tip it over to his senior counterpart. This ball kicked outside to Ford, goes back in with Jace Packard. He had such a strong first half for the Lakers. Outside to Ford and a three-pointer coming, and there's Jared Ford. First points of the half go to the Lakers, and they start the second half much like the first with a three-pointer, and the deficit now cut to 3. Cosby being guarded by Heaton and being tripped up. The foul's going to be called on Buckway. Open, passes over to Cosby, and then tried to lead Christiansen. He found Wade all alone underneath the basket. Easy lay-in for the senior Houston Wade. In the corner, now with Packard back up top. Porter got a pair of zeros down there. That ball turned over as he was trying to pass it underneath the Ford. Going the other way and just saving it. Nice hustle that time by Cooper Cosby. Back in the corner, and the drive by Bischoff. That ball was knocked out. They call a foul underneath. We called on Porter. That actually ruled to be a foul on the floor. Coach Larson for Weber was trying to argue on the shot. Couldn't win the argument as Porter knocks it out. That was the first foul on Porter. Second team foul here in this second half. Cosby around the screen, now looking inside to Christiansen, working against Chacon and gets the friendly roll off the rim. Lead back up to 7, 27-20, advantage to the Warriors. This is Chacon, now quickly passed up top to Porter. His drive was cut off nicely by Cosby. Boy, that's a tough shot by Jace Packard. He draws contact, and the foul, I believe, will go on Wade. Packard made his first free throw. His second free throw goes in as well. Cosby looking inside, nothing there. Give it over to Bischoff. Now this jumper taken from 17, no good. Rebounded by Chacon. Packard turns on the Jets as he tries to drive. Kicks it outside. Heaton now putting it on the floor. Nice find to Chacon. Had lots of space. He drives. Nice little spin move that Chacon can't finish. And again, Christiansen able to bring it in. He was a little slow getting back as he's got some more blood. Boy, more blood on the floor. I think it's coming from Christiansen. And he's was trying to tell the officials there is a large portion of it on the floor. And we'll get more blood time here. So Christiansen has to come out again as they try to deal with him. This ball knocked out off of Wade. Getting on the inbound to Ford. A nice little move back to the hole, and then missed a shot, rebounded by Wade. He gives it to Bischoff, and no one stopped the ball, and Bischoff takes advantage. A nice drive as the floor was wide open, and Carson Bischoff able to convert it into points. Ford now looking to drive. Passes it out. This is a baseline drive, then popped out, and a three-pointer coming from Heaton. And Tyler Heaton talked about his ability to score points. It's been limited tonight. Gets on the board. The big one there is this three from Denny. Hits the front of the rim and comes off. Approaching the midway point here in this third quarter. It's a 29-25 Weber advantage. Again, both these two teams trying to finish the top of Utah Classic with a W. Ford being guarded by Cosby. Puts it on the floor, goes to the hole, and Jared Ford with a nice lay-in. The deficit cut now to 2. Nice defensive effort that time by Heaton. Then this pass thrown behind Denny and turned over. Looking up for Heaton, and that one is led too far and into the bleachers. Porter checks in for Bonneville. Meanwhile, Nick Austin just checked in, as did Christiansen. And number 24 for Weber. Again, we do not have a 24. This entry pass broken up by Packard. Nearly gave it back, but Buckway was there. Three-pointer coming from Suarez, and that one was in and out. As the Bonneville bench lets out a collective gasp. That would have given the Lakers the lead. Denny hands this off behind to Open. And boy, all alone as Christiansen had beautiful positioning. Packard was looking for some baseline support and nothing there. Easy lay-in for Tyler Christiansen, and when he's been on the floor, he's been pretty good, but seen him had to come out a couple times with some blood issues as this marks the physical nature of this game. And how about Justin Porter with the backdoor cut and the foul? Count the bucket to the line for 1. Justin Porter to shoot the bonus. It is good. 31-30. This is the closest that Bonneville has been since, I believe, that first quarter. Nice run here to start the third. Meanwhile, Chacon came back in for the Lakers. Denny thought about that three, instead gives it off to his teammate. Good defense that time by Suarez, not allowing the drive. Entry pass, and a foul called on Chacon as tried to come up over the top of Christiansen. First foul on Chacon. Here's Open with the drive. He's going to pull up the baseline J and hits that smooth like butter. Buckway brings it down. This is a strong drive that is blocked by Austin, and instead the foul call, he can't believe it. He's going to the line to shoot 2 will be Jace Packard. Cole Dean just checked in for Adam Open. Meanwhile, Packard missed his first free throw. Second free throw rolls in for him. 33-31 our score. 2 minutes remaining here in the third. This is Cole Dean with it. Boy, wide open underneath, and that one rolled out by Austin, and then the foul. I believe they're going to call it underneath on Suarez as Chacon came over to get the block. It is a body foul on Suarez. Austin missed his first free throw as Tyler Heaton checks back in. Second free throw is good. And a turnover, as that time Suarez wasn't looking for the ball. Buckway tried to get it to him. Coming down quickly, Dean throws one up, and the foul from behind. I believe Dean now will go to the line for two. Foul was called on Porter. That was his second. Meanwhile, Dean at the free throw line makes good on both. 36-31. Now the advantage for Weber. Buckway's drive was cut off by Denny. Now here's Suarez, and Cole Dean, tell you, he might be the defensive grinder of this game. That ball turned over. Now numbers for Weber. There's Dean, goes up off the glass, and Cole Dean has 4 straight points for the Warriors. Lead back up now to 7 as Heaton nearly turns this over. And then eventually does, as tried to pass it to Porter. He couldn't handle it. Coming back the other way, Austin to lay it in. And it has been an onslaught of Warrior points here in the last minute. 40-31 as we have 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Jace Packard with it. He's looking to drive on Christiansen. Pops out. Three-pointer coming from Suarez. That one will come off. Rim glass and then rimmed off. Pulling up. That's a nice little jumper from inside the key. 30 seconds left now as again Suarez for three, and he cashes one in. A big bucket as it was an 11-point deficit. Weber had their lead reduced to as few as 1, but then a big charge by Cole Dean late in that third quarter as now Weber looks to hold for the final possession of this quarter. Nearing 10 seconds left with an 8-point lead. Heaton comes out. Nearly is able to create the turnover. In the corner, Denny for three, and Denny hits the three. The horn sounds. Quarter's expired. It ends positively for the Weber Warriors as Hayden Denny hits the triple. 45-34 as we head to the fourth. Start of the fourth quarter, the Lakers facing an 11-point deficit, unofficially a 12-3 run to end that third by the Warriors. Is this three-pointer well off the mark, and Weber looking to push it, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Houston Wade. Could see that one coming as Jared Ford stepped in to draw the charge. That was the third foul on Houston Wade in a game that has had relatively few fouls called. Not much foul trouble to speak of as Heaton had that one go through his hands. Ford there to corral it for Bonneville. Packard thought about the shot, then the step around, tries to use glass, and that one was a little off target as Christiansen came up with the rebound. Dean will pass over to Wade. Back up top now with Cosby. Heaton steps out on him. Dean left alone, able to shoot. Missed that one. So now Tyler Heaton looks to push it for the Lakers. Cross-court pass. Ford gonna drive. An athletic shot put up but blocked by Dean, who's been really, really good for Weber coming in off the bench. Packard will get a rest for the Lakers as Chacon checks in. Jared Ford now over to Chacon. Looking for somewhere to go. Gets it to Ford. He thought about the three. Instead elected to pass it. Really nice fake put on by Heaton, then couldn't finish that one. Here's Chacon now. Tried to roll it over, and that ball was turned over. Coming back the other way underneath. Nice job stopping, though. The shot couldn't be made. Dean then missed it. Coming in is Heaton. And then the reach. I believe this will be called on Wade. That foul was called on Wade. That's his fourth. And now quickly down with Bonneville. Ford for three. There it is. a big three-pointer with 6:18 left. Gets it 45-37. And this is going to become a game of stops defensively for the Lakers. You can tell they are not out of this game, though Buckway commits the foul there. That will be the 6th team foul on Bonneville. And that's the 3rd foul for Buckway. Good defense put on by Ford. Try to get it to Cole Dean. Stepping in was Chacon. Gets the turnover. Now Porter tries to dribble through. Gets it over to Chacon, and Chacon finishes the fast break. How about Justin Porter? Dribbled into basically triple coverage, so to speak. Got it over to Chacon to lay it in. The lead is down to 6. Three-pointer on the way for Weber. No good. And a foul called on the rebound. A push. And if this is on Wade, that's number 5. That was on Wade, so he has finished, fouled out of this ball game with 5.5 minutes remaining. Only a 6-point lead for the Lakers, who have responded really nicely coming out of the gates here in the 4th. Is trying to pass that one through traffic. It's deflected out off of Weber. Inbounded in the little 6-footer by Packard, hit the front of the rim. Should mention this is the 3rd game in 3 days for these two teams, so I have to wonder if tired legs becoming a bit of an issue. Of course, both teams having that, so that's not an excuse one way or the other. This is Cosby with it. Guarded by Heaton, entry pass, and a foul call on Ford as he reached around to break that up. And 1-and-1 going to the line will be Chris Jansen. Chris Jansen went to the line for 1-and-1. He made both free throws as Buckway just checked in, as did Denny for Weber. 47-39 advantage for the Warriors. Buckway with the drive. That pass, he was trying to get it out to Packard, who had stepped out, and it was a little off target. And a really nice job that time as breaking up was Porter. He said it went off the foot of Cosby. Officials disagreed. It'll be Weber underneath. Inbounded to Bischoff. Entry pass. Chris Jansen working against Packard, and work is good today for Chris Jansen. It's been good in the blocks today for Weber, and the lead is back up to 10. Give a lot of credit to these Warriors. Seems like any time the Lakers have put together a bit of a run, they've been there to answer. As this shot from Packard is good, and Jace Packard just will not go quietly into the night. This is Cosby with it now. Denny coming around the screen. Again, looking for Chris Jansen in the post and has that one knocked away. Good post defense by Jace Packard, and then turned over at the center line. And then this is a foul on Packard as Olpen was going up to lay it in. He'll go to the line for 2. Olpen missed his first free throw. This is his 2nd attempt. It is through cleanly. Packard with a little step back, tries to rainbow it over the stretched out Chris Jansen. Couldn't get it to go. And that is a behind the back pass to Chris Jansen. Don't know if it was quite intended to go like it did, but it did. Cosby kicks it out to Denny. 50-41 now the score, advantage for Weber. Chris Jansen had inside positioning, but good defense by Packard. Didn't able to pass. Is on the drive. This one was a little too hard off of Cosby and then ruled out off of Packard. Weber will maintain possession. Inbounded to Cosby. Into Chris Jansen again. Denny, lots of space. That one comes off. Rebound is to Ford. He looks to bring it up the floor. Buckway with it now, and a travel. Dragged that foot. Cole Dean has come back on for the Warriors. Mention how good he's been off the bench today for Weber. Actually had 4 key points in that big run at the end of the third. It's a foul called this time, and going to the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1 will be Denny. Denny made his first free throw. The bonus good as well. Buckway brings the ball up the floor quickly as the lead is back to 11. Being guarded by Bischoff. Here's Heaton with the drive. Pops it outside. Three-pointer coming from Packard. That one was sent long. Open now. Back to Denny. Nice little pump fake as Christiansen will take the free throw that's worth 2 but doesn't go. This ball lofted up for Buckway, and he can't keep it in play. Under 2 minutes left here in this contest. Still an 11-point Warrior lead as Dean has it. Was looking inside to Bischoff. Didn't like what he saw, so went to Denny. Now Bischoff being double teamed up top. And that ball turned over. It's Jace Packard with a really nice help defense. Double team left a bit of a gap. Packard didn't let him take advantage. Then the drive here draws contact from Christiansen. Packard will go to the line for 2. Packard missed his first free throw. He's got 1 remaining. It is good. Some full court pressure now being applied by the Lakers. It's Cosby able to dribble out of it. Bischoff now. Back to Cosby, inside Christiansen. Help comes over late, out off of Christiansen as Porter came over and helped create the turnover. Buckway will bring it across the timeline. We're now with Packard. Screen set, and Packard will look to drive. He gets fouled again, and Jace Packard will go back to the line for 2. Packard missed his first free throw. Second one is true. 52-43. As this ball, boy, just got past Heaton. He was going for the steal. We talked about him nearly 5 steals a game. I don't know that he's got 1 today. Under a minute left. 9-point advantage for Weber. This is open with it. Bischoff, and boy, a touch foul going to be called on Heaton. Is now going to the line to shoot 2 will be Carson Bischoff. Bischoff made his first free throw. His second is good as well. Buckway bringing the ball up quickly. Ford looking to drive past Denny. He got stopped in the key. Now the baseline drive. Cut off. Three-pointer on the way from Buckway. That one just rimmed out on him. It's been a familiar theme tonight for Bonneville. They've had a couple of those that seem like they're going in, then don't. Pressure at half court, and the foul called. As Open tried to get through the double team, he'll go to the line. Both free throws were made by Open. And with 18 seconds left, it's a 56-43 game. Come down the floor quickly. Packard with the drive, the spin around, and that one rims off. Out of bounds, will stay here with Bonneville. Ball inbounded to Ford. Thought about the 3. Open came over to help close it out. Buckway for 3, and there's Buckway. Tanner Buckway with a 3-pointer. This ball will be thrown in, and the game is over. Weber Warriors notch their first win of this young season, a 56-46 victory over the Bonneville Lakers. And again, our final score here from the top of Utah Classic at Northridge High School. The Weber Warriors have defeated the Bonneville Lakers 56-46, and this was a game Bonneville got off to a great start. You couldn't have drawn it up any better. Their first 2 possessions, it was 6-0 off of a pair of made 3-pointers, but the Weber Warriors, well, they didn't let that stop them as they responded. It was only a minute in they had that deficit. Came back nicely in that first quarter. In fact, ended that first quarter unofficially on a big run to close out with a 13-10 lead. And then from that point on, Weber would just kind of take control of this ball game. It was pretty clear that the Warriors had a big advantage inside with Christiansen. They used that to their advantage. And Bonneville, as they started off with those two made three-pointers, they hit some cold shooting, especially in that second quarter, as they fell to a double-digit deficit in that second and would go to halftime, eventually down 23-17. Not bad. They'd come out in that third quarter and actually put together a nice run. They got to within one, but late in that third quarter, the Warriors went on an absolute tear of a run. It was like 12-3 unofficial run. Cole Dean had 4 straight points. We saw some fast break opportunities that Weber was able to lay in, get some big points, and really extend the lead back up to double digits. And it would pretty much stay there for most of the fourth quarter. A lot of credit. This Weber Warrior team had a very balanced effort tonight. We talked about Christiansen down low. He played well. Dean played well off the bench as well. Saw some nice support all around, really, from the Warriors. Bischoff had a good game, as did Open. He was all right. Didn't have a ton of points, but he had some key buckets for him and really managed the game quite well. Didn't have a lot of turnovers. For the Bonneville Lakers, you can kind of tell their shot just wasn't there tonight. And you have to wonder if part of that is a lot of games and not much time. As we talked about coming into this game, Heaton led them in scoring with 18 points, and he certainly was nowhere close to that here tonight. But a very nice game had tonight by Jace Packard. He led them in scoring inside, outside. He was really stellar for the Lakers, but not much else going on. The distance shooting was tough for Bonneville tonight. They did not have a lot of size down low to deal with Christiansen and the rest of this taller Weber squad, as the Bonneville Lakers take a tough loss here tonight. Both these teams with this now move to 1-3 on the season, as this Top of Utah Classic comes to an end for both of them. For the Lakers, next up, they will face the Morgan Trojans in what should be an entertaining game. And for the Weber Warriors, they get a little chance at revenge. As we mentioned in the open, they will play Box Elder, a team that they just lost to yesterday. So they'd like to avenge themselves of that previous loss as they prepare to face off with the Box Elder Bees, but a really good opportunity for both these two teams. Again, it was the Weber Warriors who come out victorious here on the final day of the Top of Utah Classic with a 56-46 victory over the Bonneville Lakers. And with that, our coverage today comes to a close. For Vince Francis, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time on High School Rewind.